Hey guys and gals, it's me, Mudahar, back with episode 15 and a half of the Some Ordinary podcast with our guest, Art, aka the Gamer from Mars. If you don't watch this entire podcast, he'll turn you into an internet mystery.
That's ominous, man.
God. Immediately. Yeah.
But they'll never know because no one will ever see 15 part 1.
I just did your material right in front of you.
So a lot's happened this week, guys. I just want to say, who's been watching the Streamer Awards 2 nights ago?
Me.
No, don't lie. Don't lie
Okay,
like
I didn't
that.
watch
Come
the Streamer
on.
Awards,
I
but
didn't watch
saw
it.
who won each thing,
Yeah.
and I have a few things about it that I wanted to bring up anyway. So I'm glad you did.
Dude,
Please.
Critical.
Dude,
The way that Critical
that was
accepted the
amazing.
award with his Joel Haver and the other guy that I forgot his name, that was so funny. It was so
That was the
funny.
funniest thing I've ever seen.
What?
And then they just were just, yeah, it's definitely the funniest thing at any award show
Absolutely.
ever.
In the history of the
Wait,
world.
did he? Did Charlie go
No,
down
Charlie's
to the award
scared
show?
of flying. He doesn't
No.
fly. He doesn't go anywhere.
He had his two lookalikes.
Part of the Moistverse, the two gamers, they went up there, and he's like, so I wanted to say that I'm even more proud of the asshole that Nikocado Avocado sucked Belle Delphine's nipples.
I saw Code and Miko post a photo with the two like doppelgangers. I'm like, that's pretty cute. Did you guys actually see there? So that night was the funniest. Like, it wasn't even the Streamer Award. So like before I went to bed last night, I saw this thing on Twitter, and it was this video of like this XQC like lookalike. We're talking exact. Like, this man, like, I had to watch the video like 3 times to make sure. This guy like went up to the car, smacked the dude in the face, and everyone was memeing that it was XQC getting snubbed for the Streamer
Oh
Award. Did you guys see that
my
video?
No.
Mhm.
No.
Okay, so Caleb saw that one. So like this guy, like, so basically this guy, like, the story I believe went like this. So they were driving the car, and the guy puts his car into reverse and like just, touches the bumper of the car behind him. And so the guy behind him gets the fuck out of the car, mirror's edge, runs up, Mach speed, flips around and smacks the dude straight in the face. And like immediately when you're watching it, he has the same hairstyle as XQC, the same facial features, and you're like, wait, did XQC like knock a guy out? And then you look at it closely and you're like, no, it's not him. No. Like, I showed it to my brother and he's like, no way. And I'm like, no, it's not him. Don't worry. No, it's not XQC. No. Oh, dude, don't even get me started on the Vitali. So that was last week. That was a YouTuber boxing.
Yeah, with all the headbutts and all that shit. That was crazy.
That's the best. Like,
I didn't watch that.
That was the only cop video I've seen in a while with like Vitali getting busted, like in Miami. And that was about the funniest thing Vitali related.
After he just beat that random woman?
Yeah.
What was the story behind that at the end of the day?
I don't think it was a story.
I know he did
I
it.
think he's just crazy.
It's an internet.
It wasn't a story. I think he was just really high and just went crazy.
He's Russian.
Yeah, I don't.
That's his problem.
I don't know what Vitali's up to these days.
I know at one point he was he was doing his own training course for like how to get jacked, but it was he was he showed like the before and after. He's like, become like me, and he was swole out of his mind. But then you found out, oh, he's taking steroids, and you're like, okay, you're selling this class of like do sit-ups or like bench presses in this order in this schedule, and you'll be like me. And it's
you
like,
just
that's
gotta
not
align your
concept.
chakras, bro.
But like, who's surprised?
No one.
No one. I mean, it makes perfect sense. He acts like he's on steroids.
Wait, you were saying something, Knox? Before you were laughing?
was saying you gotta align your chakras. That and steroids,
God damn you.
Your sacrum. Align your sacrum with your perineum.
That's something you would expect out of Vitali. Though Vitali's always just like been one of those people where it's like, I guess he had like a really. Isn't he like really successful though? He does actual now. Like, he does like Vitali Uncensored, and I have no idea how.
Pinnacle of success.
Is that actually like successful though? Because like from what
I don't think so.
But he's got to be making something off of that site, because he's been like going crazy in the last couple of years. Like, it's got to be successful.
You have to wonder though, how much money did he make during the boom of the prank channels? Because back then you could do whatever you wanted on YouTube, and you'd get a really high CPM for it. So people like him and FouseyTube, they made so much money back then that they have all these other ventures nowadays, but I don't think they have to work another day in their life if they didn't want to.
I mean, like, I like to think they made so much money that they could be like complete like dumbasses with it, but still have enough left over, to like do ventures with. Because you're like, you gotta imagine they must have been burning through cash, partying like rock stars for a long time, that savings were never in their mind. And then after a while, like, I think what might have changed is because they probably had like parents from the old country that were like, son, don't be a complete jackass with your money. Save some of it. But I think that's maybe the story. I honestly think that's a story with it. But like these guys were just, I don't know. To be fair, I never understood it. Like I had family members that loved, like, they watched the shit out of Fuzi for the longest time because you know it was all Middle Eastern content. And they were like, oh wow, this is like us. This is one of us. And I was just like, all right, calm down, guys. It is Fuzi after all. And then I started watching like all of his like social experiment crap, and I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here. There's no way it's this easy to do YouTube. Because it was at that time when he was doing social experiments, me and Art were like in the creepypasta phase. Like we were like fucking early lore history. And I was just like, back when I was sitting, I'm like, man, this guy's just sitting out there like faking homeless experiments, and I'm over here like reading stories. Well, I'm doing something wrong. Clearly, Fuzi's got the right idea, and you know.
My favorite Fuzi social experiment from back in the day, they were all fake, but this one really, you know,
No.
I remember this one really is burned into my brain. It was How Shallow Are Women experiment. That was like my gold digger subgenre.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But this one in particular was he'd go on a date with a woman he'd meet on a dating app, but on the app he only wore a hat to show, so the women wouldn't know that he was bald. He'd show up for the date, and then when he sits down at the table at the restaurant with the woman, he'd take off his hat revealing he was bald. Then the woman would just get up and like walk away, like this is a non-starter. I'm out of here.
Yep.
And that was like the takeaway from the video. So it's just FuziTube projecting his self-consciousness onto his videos at the time.
Dude, he's awesome. Did you see? Didn't he get a tattoo on his head for hair?
No. So here's okay. So he got this tattoo where basically if you're bald and you still want to have the look that you have hair there, they'll tattoo a bunch of little dots onto your head to make it look like you just have a shaved head, but you still have a hairline there. So he got one, and they have like a special type of ink. I think they call it pigment. It's not ink. And they do that, and it looked pretty good from what I could tell. Like, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have noticed. I would just assume, oh, it's a dude that shaves his head. But then he went to some barber or something, or some salon to, I don't know, get like his beard trimmed. And the woman there said, oh, we offer that service as well here. We could make your hairline a little higher up for you in ink. And he said, sure. And this woman went and just botched his hairline with just ink. It looked horrendous. Dude. And then he had to spend tens of thousands of dollars for treatment after treatment where they laser burned the ink out of his hair again to remove that hairline.
And this is all before
that's not the first time he did that.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know where that happened.
If my hairline was that fucked up, I just shave my head. I'd go full bald. Like I'd go full Max Payne 3. Like I wouldn't even fucking bother with the tattoos. Like what the fuck? That's
To be honest, the first time he got it, it didn't look bad. And the problem was they made it so he had a slightly receded hairline with the tattoo because they want to make it look believable. You don't go and just give yourself a hairline like this because it would look strange, especially if you're
widow's peak and everything.
If you're a guy in your 30s, most people don't have a hairline that low, so they gave it a little higher because whoever did it for him knew what they were doing. Then he wanted more, and he just made this impulsive decision to allow some
infinite growth
chick at a salon just ruin it on him, and it looked like a Sharpie marker. That's really what it appeared like.
And like his like the hair, like this thing here, where like your hair
the
kind of comes
temple
forward.
hair.
It was it was also like tattooed on.
He had, like,
it just looks so bad.
A perfect hairline of like a 10-year-old, no maturing at all on it, and
10-year-old hairline.
That's something you see like Chris Chan do.
Yeah, so Chris Chan, he was actually able to grow back his hairline a bit because he started consuming an outrageous amount of soy every day to increase his estrogen levels. And he also started using his mom's prescription estrogen cream. And he was actually, if you look at pictures, he had a majorly receding hairline, and he actually was able to grow it back by getting on this medication and using these creams.
Do you think he has access to that same medication in the land of prison right now?
That's a good question. I don't know if they offer that in prison, if that comes with a health care.
Yes. That's the
I really want to go to his like court date.
You're not allowed in the courtroom. Somebody tried to go to his last court hearing, and they wouldn't allow them in. So you would have to basically go there with a lawyer, and then the lawyer would say like, no, they have the right to go in there, or like make a case that you're a journalist or something. And then
I'm a journalist.
So what happens is some random troll from Kiwi Farms goes there and it's like, hey guys, I want to go see Chris Chan. And then they're just like, get out of here. And they have no recourse, so they just leave. But it is a possibility if you were able to fight it.
I would love to fucking go to one of those court. I mean, like, he's probably not gonna have like she's probably not gonna have like an outburst or anything. But like at the same time, God, it's like a piece of internet culture coming to an end. I've never understood like the people that have been like so upfront to like, you know, troll somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting because every time like I cover the Christine Chandler story, I'm like, I look at it from like the outside looking in, right? Like, it's always interesting to me to see like what somebody has done when they're terminally online. Now, obviously, let's be real here. Christine's got the autism. You know, I don't need to see the papers to confirm that one, but like at the same time,
right?
It's like they're also guilty of their own like fuck ups. They're also like you can be autistic and also a bad person. This person matches both those categories 100%. But then like it starts to like get all weird when you have like groups of trolls, right, that are like faking relationships or like goading somebody to like have relations with their own mom. Like, I'm like, damn, dude, this is like, it's tough.
That seems strange.
It is very strange. It is very like just fucked up to get into, like, cover, and like, you know, it ruins the whole thing. Like, it went from like this one guy, like, okay, there's a big difference between getting somebody to like screw their own mom and then like, you know, making fun of their PlayStation avatar, right? Like getting into some, you know, like there's
right.
worlds of difference, right? Like the latter half you can look at. There's
tiers to trolling.
Only one very slight line to cross.
It's a slippery slope. Well, as soon as you start making fun of the PSN gamer tag,
it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, well, when you go from the Little Big Planet trolling all the way to you should go fuck your mom, I think that's the line, right? Like that's a very thin line to cross. You're absolutely right. I mean, I think before you get to the incest phase and you're just covering the Little Big Planet stuff, that's okay. That's like, haha, funny. The mom stuff, we're getting a little too Southern Comfort in here. Maybe we should like stray away.
One of my favorite Chris Chan deep cuts in terms of videos is he made a little machinima in Little Big Planet where Chris Chan smacked around this guy with Asperger's.
He beats an Asperger's kid.
Because he made people with autism look bad. That's what he said.
That was the first time in my life that I saw a mental health like gang war. Yeah, like he used to beat up the Aspergian kids because Asperger's and autism couldn't get together.
Oh my god.
Aspergian.
He'd also build people in Soul Calibur and then as custom characters and then beat them up. So like he was mad at the a woman, Mary Lee Walsh, at the community college he went to because she wouldn't allow him to carry around his attraction sign. So he made her in Soul Calibur and then just beat the crap out of her. And I think that was his first ever upload onto YouTube back in 2007.
Wait, Nox, are you surprised that he was carrying a fuck me sign? Let's call it what it is. It wasn't no attraction sign. It was, if you're 18 and above, please fuck me.
Hello,
come on
if
now.
you've been to like any anime convention ever, people are walking around with those signs, all right?
No, they're not. Shut the fuck up.
You got
no.
the memes walking around. All right, listen here. Hug me.
No way. Have you been to an anime convention?
I have, yeah.
I've gone to a gaming convention once, and there was people that were Chris Chan tier there in terms of like their looks and demeanor.
I didn't see any. I went to PAX twice, and I didn't see anything that was like out of the ordinary. Actually, I would say. I saw some weird shit.
This was at Too Many Games though. Too Many Games 2029. I forget what year. I went to Too Many Games the one year, and another year Chris Chan actually attended that event, and he was kissing people without their consent. So they were trying to kick him out of the event, and I'm misgendering it. Excuse. They kicked Christine out of the event, and she had a mental breakdown on the floor and would not get up. And
was that the one where she was doing like the Allah prayer and everything? Like she was just getting ready, like
she just went into a fetal position on the ground. Also, I just want to preface this. Excuse me if I've misgendered at all in any of this. I don't mean to. It just it gets very confusing.
No, I think anybody that's going to get mad about the look, we've covered it for a long time. Okay, the lines have been blurred that shouldn't have been blurred. Okay, let's.
Yeah. So the problem is I've been researching Chris Chan so much that I jump around the timeline of, oh, he did this, she did this, depends on the era of Chris Chan history and what saga.
Well, it's coming to an end now, isn't
Saga.
it? Like, it's coming to an end for you. Like, the research, you can finally, like...
They're in jail, right?
Yeah,
they're in jail.
Gone, yeah.
So I guess I haven't even mentioned this yet. I am about to release a 5-hour-long Chris Chan documentary where I met Christine in person before all the incidents happened. And yeah, so this people are calling this the final saga in terms of Christine going to jail. But I personally believe at this point she'll end up in a halfway house. And I think the biggest thing is just she can't have access to internet anymore. That's
or
I
to
think
her
that's
mother.
for everyone's best interests.
So, okay, what I'm, like, kind of thinking about it, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, you think you think, like, she's gonna go to prison, she's gonna go to her court sentencing, and because I think she'll just be let free. Like, I think because she's already been in prison for a year, and my understanding of U.S. law is, like, when you...
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year since she's been in prison. It will be. Yeah, so my understanding of U.S. law is they calculate the time you spend waiting for your court date as time served, right? So if she's gonna get, like, a year in prison, wouldn't she just, like, be let out? Like, she's just gonna be let go if she gets a year?
So the biggest problem is that she's currently this episode's gonna get demonetized. I could tell already. But Christine was arrested on the charge of incest, which is like this old law that's just been on the books and no politician's going to remove it. And yeah, it's messed up, but should the state be getting involved? I'm not even getting into that debate. She has not been arrested on any charges of assault or anything of that nature, just because she claims it was consensual. And the mom is 80 years old, mentally out of it. Yeah, mentally out of it. So, you know, are you going to put the mom on the are they going to bring the mom into the courtroom and get her to testify against the son and have cross-examination? It's like, that's not going to happen. I feel that both sides are just going to agree, put this person in a halfway house and take away their internet privileges, and then that'll be the end of it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Did you ever figure out what's this chick's deal? Like, did you ever figure out, like, what exactly the, like, root of all this was? Is there like like an inflection point in the story where everything just got really strange and just started to precipitate from there, or was it just very gradual?
It all started when Sega released a very popular game by the name of Sonic the Hedgehog. Everything went downhill.
So the thing I noticed, well, that's what people usually say, but the thing I've noticed researching the Chris Chan stuff is, yes, Chris Chan is the most well-documented person on the internet, but what we know about Chris Chan is from Chris Chan's point of view, not other people's point of view for the most part.
Right.
So Chris Chan will tell a story about, oh, when I was 5 years old, my babysitter locked me in a closet for a couple hours, and then I came out and I didn't speak for multiple years. Is that true? Is that what caused Chris to not speak for all those years, just being locked in a closet for a couple hours? I'm not a specialist in this, but that sounds a bit extreme. Was there something else that happened there that's suppressed that people don't know about? Chris Chan's half-brother claimed that Barbara, Chris's mom, was abusive to them in some capacity, so who knows what happened there. On top of that, we know that there has been records and reports that specialists have done on Chris that have not been seen by the public. They were locked up in his father's filing cabinet, so those never made their way onto the internet. So most of what we know about Chris Chan's childhood is from his perception of events, and we don't know if anything's been suppressed or if his parents told him things as a kid that weren't actually true. So that's where some of the difficulty comes in trying to research the story. So for my documentary, at least these 4 parts that come out to be 5 hours long, I just kind of tell a bit more of a straight story, but there might be there to look into at a later point. It's just have to wait and see.
Part 2.
I mean, it's
part 2 to your 5 hours.
Well, it's 4 parts, so I guess there would be like a 5th part that would be like an epilogue of some sort, possibly.
True, yeah.
But that's not in the plans right now. It's just I'm leaving the door open if I want to.
Who do you think is going to be the next Chris Chan, though?
I don't think that there could ever be another Chris Chan. Chris Chan is just...
I don't know. There's a lot of people on the internet that are just waiting to be like, you know, they just keep posting content.
They say 1 in 5. And there's 5 of us here.
Chris Chan came at a special point in internet history. just the parents that were older and kind of not with it anymore by the time Chris was just an adult. They let him do whatever he wanted, it seemed, and they kind of, that's another thing I've noticed about researching Chris, is that as a child and as a young adult and even as a 20-some-year-old, it was never Chris Chan's fault. His parents would always defend him no matter what it was with school. They would always take his side. They threatened to like contact the president of the United States if they tried to kick him out of the college he was at. So it was always stuff like that. They wanted to put him in a special school that might fit his needs a bit better, and they refused and they fought against it. To the point where they moved to a different house to be in a different school district that would appease them a bit more. That's another thing from Chris's childhood, is at one point they were living in a house in a new school district and they had to leave that house. And Chris says, "Oh, we had to leave when I was 12 and move into an apartment because the neighbors were spreading quote unquote nasty rumors about us." And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, who the heck has to leave their house because the neighbors are spreading rumors? There's clearly other things at play in Chris's childhood that we just don't know anything about at this point. And I've dug a little bit into it. Again, my documentary does not cover that stuff. Maybe at a later point, not guaranteeing anything, but it's an insane story, and there's more there. I mean, you have to think about it. I mean, this is a family that when Chris was...
I feel like there's a bad delay between us. Every single time I speak, like, it takes 10 seconds until you notice. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening.
A lesson about what?
Let this be a lesson.
Yeah, what's the lesson?
All right, if you are going to be a bad parent to your kid, they might just grow up and have sex with you one day.
They might. I mean, hey, listen. There's a lot of factors you have to add into that. Okay, there's like at least
you fuck over your kid.
You know what I'm saying?
What comes around goes around.
If you lie to your child about serious illnesses, it could bite you in the ass at some point.
If there's a little blue hedgehog involved, the chances are even higher.
But yeah, no, that's
What were you saying, Art?
I was just saying, you have to think about this family. This is a family that when Chris was 10 years old, they brought him to a mall where there was animatronic Five Nights at Freddy's style bears singing Christmas carols, and they were talking to Chris, and Chris's original name was Christopher, and then one of the bears said his name was Christian by accident, and Bob and Barbara thought that was some sort of sign from God that he was like going to be a Christian because they were kind of religious. So
wait, Bob and Barb thought that?
That's what I'm surmising from the story. Again, everything gets kind of iffy when hearing Chris Chan's side of things, but they changed his name from Christopher to Christian.
Gregory.
And I think that ties in to the fact that like they were bringing him to church. One of the big things with Chris Chan all these years was he had all these suppressed gay urges, and people were always able to like mess with him on those.
Did you ever see actually it reminds me of the Jenki saga. So like Chris Chan once infiltrated a troll group. So this is like a troll group that I was following him. So he infiltrated them as Jinkies. That was his name. And I know this very well because this is the one time my dad caught me watching Chris Chan. And I couldn't explain it. So basically he had to send in an application video, right? To like this troll site to make it so that he wasn't like Chris Chan. What he did was he put a blue like blankie over his head, like a little towel. And he's like, "Oh, I'm Jinkies. I'm not Chris Chan." Like he sounded exactly like Chris Chan. It was the one time where my dad, he like walked by my room and he saw me look at that video. And like he like stared at the monitor and he looked at me. And I was like, "You know what, Dad? You just think what you want to think, okay? Like you do what you have to." So the best part about this whole saga was like, in order to like prove that, so like he was making these like really verbose posts, right, about his like past growing up. And there was one post where he was at a camp, right? And he was like, "I wanted to check if I wasn't gay, so I decided to get a dick in my ass and get fucked by my actual campmate." Like, it was really fucking detailed, like, to the point where I was like, man, this motherfucker could write 50 Shades of Grey. It was that detailed, right? Like, it was like a really detailed story of getting screwed in the ass. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, this isn't a story. This is reality, isn't it? Like, this happened.
Yeah, and just to add to that, no trolls coerced him into saying that. Just, he was pretending to be a troll, and to flesh out the backstory of his persona, he made it up. And
I don't believe it was a made up story. Hell no. That's like committed though.
Real.
That's when you know like
real.
Chris is one of those like really LGBT friendly types, because like listen, he, in order to check if he wasn't gay, he actually took it in the ass. He was like, I'm gonna go all the way.
That's pretty ballsy.
I'm gonna see if I like it. You know, I'm gonna commit to it. I'm not enjoying it. There you go. I'm not on that orientation. I'll give Chris that much. Okay, that is some commitment to the bit.
That's pretty homoerotic.
They went balls deep on the research.
They did. Yeah.
I've been looking at messed up people on the internet for so many years now, and Muda, you could probably like back me up on this statement.
Yeah.
Whenever you have someone that's super sexually perverted, they were abused as a child. Every time.
Yeah, 100%.
Always the case.
Yeah.
So the idea that Chris Chan, you know, a teacher like held him down at one point, or the principal made him sit on his lap one time, or the babysitter made him have time out in a closet for 2 hours and then he didn't speak for multiple years. It just doesn't add up. The story just doesn't make sense.
I think a lot of people to blame in this situation, and it's definitely just like, you know, Christine's parents in this case, you know, like in a way, because like people like to meme on it and they're like, oh, I think the one thing that changed it was the Sonic contest, right? Oh, kid got exposed to Sonic the Hedgehog, it fucked you up.
Yep.
Look,
Sega.
So many people have played Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think this is the only case where we found an incest story out of it, okay? But there are...
no, I don't know about that.
Before. It's common. 1 in 5.
I'm sure if you go in Kiwi Farms, you could pull up a couple other Sonic fans that have done similar
have
things.
we all... Okay, who here's played Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid? Raise your hand.
I don't have a
Nux,
hand, but
you're
I'm trying.
raising your hand.
I am.
Okay, so 4 of us. None of us have done that shit.
I mean,
okay,
not that
so
you
bam,
know,
there
to
you
be
go.
fair, you don't really know.
Not that we... Exactly.
I feel like Oompy's dad takes his shoes off and starts stalking him, you know?
Starts docking him? What?
Stalking.
No.
He made a reference to the last podcast.
Oh my god.
Oh god damn it! I remember your dad was a hunt. I remember your dad was an most insane hunter I've ever fucking. No.
Yeah.
No. But like, I think what separates is that like for all of us, like we might be all like we have to be weird to be on the internet, right? Let's just state for a reason. We have to be like on a personal level. We're all. I don't want to say we're autistic, but I think we are. I think all of us have to be too. Like that's what makes us, you know, do well on the internet. I think all of us, right? Like we're all focused on something. We all have a certain way of thinking that I don't think like the general population has. I'm not saying that we're like, you know, special in a sense, but it's just like to be on this platform, to do what we do, to produce the kind of content that we do, we have to be, you know, just in that laser focus group. What really does change it though, on the other hand, is like Chris's case. He was like, obviously, it was very low functioning. Like, let's be 100% real. This wasn't a high functioning autistic case. This is a person that was sheltered their entire life. They basically played video games. They had no social interaction. And all those things culminating together led to this point, right? Also massively exacerbated from years of internet trolling.
Yeah, I will point out something about Chris. I don't think Chris is stupid, or maybe stunted. Is there a better word? The fact is, when he was in high school, when he was just a teenager in the 90s, he was designing websites out of Notepad by himself. He just taught himself how to use like an old
code.
When he was a little kid, he taught himself how to code games on a Commodore computer to some extent. You know, even looking at his comics, when he was 13, they looked in line with what a 13-year-old's comics would be. But then he just was unwilling to get past that point. That was good enough. What he drew when he was 13, that quality, he decided, okay, I'm good. That's the level of quality
that's
that I
like
need.
super early level complacency shit. Yeah.
Yes.
He does not have a growth mindset.
No. Yeah.
Grind set.
If Chris made a picture, this is my favorite Chris Chan drawing of all time. It was one that came out later, right before the arrest, I believe. And he did a recreation of the Last Supper, a painting in the Chris Chan style, and I actually think it looks kind of cool. I think, and he pushed himself. He actually tried on that one, and it actually has like an aesthetic to it.
An aesthetic to it. Okay, all right.
The Chris Chan style, but it actually looks like he put work into it. And
it's
I was
fucking
like,
aesthetic, bro.
You know, if I saw that at a museum, some modern art museum, I would say, yeah, that sounds.
But to be fair, they nailed a banana to a wall in a modern art museum.
I would buy that Chris. Whoever's the owner of that drawing, whoever he made that for as a commission, if they want to approach me and try to sell me that, I would be interested. and I'd hang it on the wall in my house.
I think I agree with Nux though. I think his art already would be in a modern museum just for the sake of his like character, just for the sake of his story, basically.
I mean, to be fair, most art in the modern day is based on the story of the artist. You know, like they nailed a banana to a wall in a museum and it was worth a lot, and then someone took a bite out of the banana, and then it was worth more because it has a crazy story to it. Or there was a whole story about a painting that got shredded. Like, the guy won the auction and then the painting got shredded.
Just imagine, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, if Vincent Van Gogh and, like, those crazy people from, like, artists, not as if they're not artists, but just, like, that, like, genre of crazy artist, right? Those insane folks. Yeah. If they were alive in the era of kiwi farms and lolcows and shit like that, like, they would be trolled to
like think of Van Gogh, like it was Van Gogh that cut his ear off, right?
Yeah, then he did that for the Starry Night thing.
Like, could you imagine the amount of trolling that guy would get on the internet just for like cutting his ear off? Like, what the fuck?
Would it be deserved though? I mean, the guy cut his ear off. It wasn't...
Okay, but like, he cuts his ear off, but do you think like Van Gogh would be trolled hard enough to fuck their own mom though? Like, that's another thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Those old artists were so messed up. I'm sure there's incest with some of them. I wouldn't be surprised.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe, he married his niece or something, right?
Oh, that was kind of normal back then.
Yeah, that was just a thing they did.
Yeah, but that
back in the day,
that was like...
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe.
Pablo Escobar married like a 14-year-old girl when he was like 30 or something.
Yeah, Pablo. Yeah.
He's not an artist, but there's a lot of people.
I think there's actually no. Drug cartels are bad. YouTube. There we go.
The drug cartels are bad. We do not condone any dangerous or harmful acts.
Pablo Picasso, I think, was pretty messed up too.
So
we're going on different Pablos that are artists.
We also do not condone incest.
Well, hold on a
second. Guy who just sprays shit. Oh, Jackson Pollock. That's it, Pollock.
No.
Pollock
now,
paintings.
On Caleb's point, would Chris Chan then be the first actual world-renowned artist with this crazy story that's now been documented? Because he is an artist.
Yes. No one's been documented like Chris Chan. It's just
Jesus Christ hasn't been this doc, and no one else has. Saddam wasn't.
So the thing with Chris Chan that separates him is that there's other people. If you go on Kiwi Farms, you could find tons of threads of people that are just as gullible as Chris Chan, but their mental capacity is lower.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this weird.
So it's not as fun.
So it's this weird sweet spot where if a person's too intelligent, they won't fall for it. But if they're too mentally not with it, they're not even capable of like functioning on a computer or running a YouTube account. So there's like this weird little spot that Chris found himself in where he was super gullible but also capable of using technology, and there's not many people that fit into that little medium.
I think it's kind of very close to like, so every time I hear about like, now the whole Chris Chan story is basically done, right? Like, it's over. Like, no one's ever gonna go into it.
It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, well, exactly. But like, when I see like the 3 people like now on the internet that like, and it's tough. Like, when I go on YouTube or whatever, and I go on Twitch and like I look into any of these communities, like, the threads, it's always like Boogie, DSP, Wings of Redemption, all these like 3 like, caricatures and people. And people are like, oh, these guys are like the next Chris Chan. I'm like, not even close to it. Like, because like they're just people that have done like really shitty behaviors, but it's not like they're dumb people, like some of them have actually turned it into an incredibly monetizable thing. Like, I remember the DSP story, and I followed it for a while because it was like, there was a period where YouTube gaming recommendations, like, they were all just like his clips, or like people would like take his Let's Plays, right? Because he was like a terrible gamer, still is. They would take his Let's Plays and compile like 4-hour like compilations of just his fuck ups on a game, right? So let's say he played like Halo 3. They would find a playthrough of his, they would download it all, and they would just compile all of the fucking parts together, all of his fuck ups and his comments for each of those fuck up videos into these massive collaborative like pieces. And that was it. Like,
it's all lag.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and like that really blew up his popularity for a long time, because what DSP did was not like, I'm not gonna say like he was talented, because really there was no talent in this. This guy found a way to like the way that he did his playthroughs. Like, let's say like Elden Ring came out, right? What he would do is he would just record Elden Ring. There would be no editing to it, no nothing. Point the camera at the monitor. I'm not joking with you. Point the camera at the fucking monitor. That was back in the day. He'd upload 87 parts of Elden Ring in a goddamn day. All right, like we're talking in a day. And that would be the DSP thing, and it would be popular because back in the day, right, like you would go look up gaming content. Oh wow, this guy has like Modern Warfare 2 Elden Ring content, let's just watch, and YouTube would just like fucking force feed the content to everyone. Of course, obviously when everyone else jumped into the gaming circuit, his relevancy started to wane because it was like, wow, these people actually put effort into their content. Now, of course, DSP was a little different because his fuck ups that threw him into popularity, that dropped him into everything. I'd say he's smart now because whatever relevancy he gained off, he just knows how to manufacture the drama. He knows that people hate watch him more than they actually watch him, and so he's found out how to make that profitable. And I think the same thing could be said for like Wings of Redemption. And recently, even like Boogie, because I was like, I saw Boogie's video and I recommended again, and it was just like prison stories. Like, did you guys see the last Boogie upload?
I'm imagining it got a lot of views.
Oh, it did, but this is the wildest thing with the Boogie thing, right? And this is what like blew my mind away. So if you guys actually look up Boogie 2988, I think you all will come to the same realization. His last video,
I watched it.
Well aware.
What was jail like for Boogie 2988? Now the thumbnail freaked me out because I'm like, this guy put his face next to, from what I understand, somebody who's done some like serious heinous crimes, like, you know, like,
yes, I don't know why he didn't have to do that. Like, he could have just taken his mugshot, put like the height thing behind him, the height lines.
Yeah,
it's like my time in prison, Boogie 2988 story, and it probably would have gotten more views than him putting his face next to a pedo.
He already made a thumbnail like that.
Do it again.
If you look at that's just his previous thumbnail. He made 2 videos on his 4-hour prison stint.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I was memeing about it like a few days ago, but it's kind of crazy, the YouTuber mindset. When something really bad happens, it's like, okay, I can turn this into content. Oh, my parents were killed.
Yeah,
well,
but
time
like
to
that's
review Batman.
but that's like, I think that's
Wayne.
90% of the YouTubers out there. Like, I swear to God, if like tomorrow, like certain YouTubers or like they got a cancer diagnosis, they'd be like immediately like they'd get the cancer diagnosis from the doctor, and they wouldn't even process they had cancer. They'd be like figuring out how to make the thumbnail. Like, you guys won't believe.
They would get like a bald version of themselves for the thumbnail. Like, they would already like, you know, think a few steps ahead, like lying in a hospital bed or something.
But see that, that's the exact mindset that I was looking at when I was watching these Boogie things, because like it was literally that thumbnail, and I was like, there's no way. Like, I would know if I ever went to prison, I would never make a video about me going to prison. Like, holy fuck, I would move past that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I got booked, you know what I mean, on some stupid charge or whatever, and I was like in a prison for a day and I bailed myself out, I would not ever want that story to be like told by myself, let alone, you know?
So the thing is, since it's already out there, he's already on Kiwi Farms, people are already following him, I feel he might as well, you know, do the video on it and tell his story. Because you look at something like the PKA podcast, I think the numbers on that show were kind of dwindling a bit. And then when FPS Russia got out of prison and he came back on and told his prison stories, that show blew up in popularity.
I watched it again, yep.
People stopped watching that show for years. And then he comes out of prison and tells all his stories about, you know, his bunkmate and him like buying Max in the mackerel fish in the commissary to trade with other prisoners and stuff, and him reading through all the Harry Potter books.
How long was he in prison again?
2 months, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 60 days, 30 days in one, and then 30 days in like a less severe place or something like that.
Oh yeah, well they put him in prison for a little bit in a state facility or a county,
and that was for a drug charge too, no less.
Yeah, him getting like a little bit of weed, and so the weapons came after. They got a warrant for his house over something weed related, him getting weed in the mail or something. Don't quote me on that. But the problem is, since the marijuana oil thing was in the mail, it made it a federal thing and not a state thing. So then the feds came in and they just like they found
because you can't have drugs. You can't have drugs and NFA items in your house. Like, you can't if you have a suppressor. I have a suppressor personally. I have an NFA item, multiple NFA items. You have to have like all that shit is taken so seriously by the ATF that you can't like if you involve the ATF and the DEA, you're gonna go to jail. You're fucked. Like there's just no chance. Like there's no leniency whatsoever.
Once you have a federal prosecutor that wants you in prison, they're going to make your life hell. See, that's the thing is listening to Kyle, the biggest issue wasn't even the prison, it was the years of fighting it and bleeding money for paying your lawyer and like not knowing what your fate's going to be because they're trying to throw you in prison for multiple years and throwing the book at you. Like the worst part's not even the prison sentence, it's fighting in the court before the sentence is given to you. So that's the thing with like Kyle Rittenhouse or something. Everyone's like, oh, he got off. And I'm like, he didn't get off though, because the stress of that trial is unimaginable to me. I could not imagine having to sit in a courtroom and not knowing for multiple days and deliberation of the jury if I'm going to be in prison for the next 20 years of my life.
Yeah, that would suck.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, because he was. How long was he facing in prison?
It all depends. No one knows like what it would have ended up being. I mean, Jesse Smollett ended up getting like 150 days like recently.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he faked a race crime. Everyone fucking hates his ass.
An idiot.
Dux, who do you think is going to be from the VTuber scene that's going to be?
That's just circling back to prank channels, bro. They all faked race crimes all the time. That was like their MO.
Well, who do you think is going to be the first? Who do you think is going to be the first VTuber
in jail?
That's going to end up in prison?
I don't
know.
That
fucking market is fucked, dude.
Has there not been one yet?
Fucked.
Not that I know of.
There probably has. You can't tell
unless one of the VTubers.
You can't tell because they keep their identities in check.
Exactly. Well, they try. It's funny you mentioned.
Well, what happened to that one girl that got fired?
Oh, so
hello?
that all happened like 2 weeks ago. She, I think I mentioned on the podcast that she got into drama because she apparently had a boyfriend and people freaked out about it. She ended up talking to this Japanese drama YouTuber, and much like the American drama YouTubers, sometimes they would rather get some good clicks, and that guy ended up.
Wait, I'm picturing a Japanese Keemstar for a second.
Dude, everyone's making that joke. Everyone is making that joke.
Wait, what?
Yes, everyone's calling.
Well, the way you just said it, I literally pictured Japanese Keem.
That's.
Wait, who is he?
His name is like Kore or something. Let me see if I can find him. I think it's Kore or something.
Dude, I just got Indian music here sent.
Yeah, no, that's it. Kore.
Go ahead.
That's the guy. So anyway, he ended up leaking a lot of the information that she told him, including private things that she signed an NDA that she wasn't allowed to talk about. So a lot of private info ended up getting leaked through Rushia, the VTuber, through this Kore guy, and for breaking the NDA, they terminated her. And they use the word terminated, which is so scary. They're like, you have been terminated. And so her channel's getting deleted at the end of the month.
Well, I know that side of the world. Yeah.
That's
like she's losing everything?
So the way HoloLive
that's
works,
fucked up. Holy shit.
The way HoloLive works is they are an established company, and if you join their corporation, they give you an identity, and you completely work for them. You know? You are just a cog in their machine. And if they kick you out, they're terminating the channel and all the VODs.
You just have like no.
Sounds like
you have like no rights or anything, like in your.
Not really.
What the fuck?
Really. So,
isn't that similar with like the K-pop guys?
Yeah,
it is. It's the idol culture thing, and it's weird. The parasocial relationship part is crazy, and she's getting booted.
Well, it's also similar to the. Yeah.
What is kind of
it's also similar to the rap industry too. Go ahead.
Is it?
You were. Yeah, because like when the way that you just described VTubers to me makes it sound like a lot of the guys that you see entering the rap game, you ever notice how like they always have like they come in and they have like careers that only last for a year and stuff? You guys ever notice how like there's some small time like hip hop artists? So you guys know why that is, right? It's because they actually are. So what happens is like a record label will find somebody and they'll give you a loan of like, here's like a couple $1,000,000, right? So make your career, film your music videos, join the stuff. Now, if you sell a certain amount of music by then, it's fine. You're good. But if you undersell, you actually are in debt to some of these companies. So actually starting a career with some like record labels, like they will give you a loan at such a high interest rate. So you'll actually have to, I was talking to Barely Sociable about this, but like you actually apparently jump in and let's say you do get a loan, like let's say like Caleb started a rap career, right?
I could
and
see
let's
it.
say like you sold
likely.
Well, let's say Caleb sells 1 million like fucking hit, like million downloads or something, like 1 million plays, 1 million albums or something. You're good. But let's say you undersold. Now Caleb is in debt to the fucking record label company.
Bro.
And some of these people are so fucked. They have like death clauses in their actual contracts. So basically they're able to take, like, from what I understand, life insurance policies out on like people who are like in the rap game. So all of a sudden, if like these people die in a shooting or something, these guys get to collect like life insurance money off of these people. And also, all of a sudden, these like 1 year old or like these 1 year long running artists, their like tracks suddenly jump up in value because now they're dead and everything. So it's like that's the way that I kind of see like the HoloLive.
Okay.
That's the way that you just made it sound.
I maybe a little, but I don't really think it worked that way because they're not.
I don't know. I don't know,
VTubers
dude.
in
Most
HoloLive,
media shit is shady.
They're not trying to launch their own careers. They will never have a personal identity. They're always indefinitely going to be tied to the HoloLive company and forever give, a percent of their I don't know what the contract looks like 50% probably of their income goes to HoloLive. But what is kind of ironic is a lot of the corporate VTubers, like the HoloLive people, like they won't follow me on Twitter because, I'm I guess controversial in some ways. But every time they get booted, their private account follows me on Twitter. It's hilarious. It's the weirdest thing.
Nux, I gotta be honest, I still don't know what you were canceled for. I still don't understand it.
Oh my god, not again.
No, we don't have to get into it. I just wanted to make that statement.
Okay, alright.
What he got canceled for was the dumbest shit imaginable.
Muda was there for it.
No, you do it. You gotta give it, because
No,
you're not biased. You can't be biased in how you got fucking canceled, okay? The way you got canceled was complete bullshit. Cover it. Go.
Okay, basically,
I'll assist on the side. Don't worry.
I was a very, very simply trying to expose a guy that was doxing people and doing a phishing scam, making believe that they were a VTuber group. So I was in contact with the VTuber group, working with them to try and catch the guy. I was working with Muda too, trying to get info on this individual. They caught him. They gave his info to the police. Everything's great. Story should be closed there. I made a video talking about it to kind of warn people not to get caught in phishing scams. And some people felt like I put them at risk somehow, which I did not understand so much. And they basically tweeted that I'm kind of an evil person for doing that.
Well, you also didn't forget the fact that you tried to be a helpful person, but you're just like, listen, you can't help people out with getting scammed, all right? You can't do that, especially when like there's ulterior motives from other companies to fucking besmirch your name, and people gotta take sides. Come on, now you have to add that part into it.
I don't know.
All the VTubers basically fucked it. All the VTubers fucked him because they wanted to get a little bit of extra clout. Let's be fucking real. Those scumbag pieces of shit. If you're gonna align with like a company over like, fucking what you did was a public service announcement. What the company did was like really fucking dumb, and I have no shame in saying that. Like I have no fucking issues with like dragging their name out and like shitting on them the way that they did to you. Like I don't even fucking care. Like that is some utter bullshit. But yeah,
I guess I just wanted peace among the nations here. Okay, I was. So yeah, anyway,
there's some people you can't have peace with. You can't have peace with some people.
Yeah, that's
absolutely not.
I've learned, because I'm on an active basis dealing with like 100 different YouTubers at any different point, just for business related things or just friendships and stuff like that. And I just take the policy if someone comes to me with some drama between them, and I'm just like, I don't know anything about that. I'm too busy, and that's just what I say. And they tend to be fine.
You had the whole like Turkey Tom and Internet Ajay thing too. And you have to like mediate that, right?
Okay, but that
I messaged Internet at Jay and just kind of I think they reached out to me behind the scenes about that. It's not just that; it was Augie and Technicals. They were in some fight about some Smash Bros. Player if he was a pedo or something. And it just every time somebody tries to come to me about this stuff, and it's like, I don't know, I'm too busy. I literally don't have time to get involved. There's not enough hours in the day.
But the thing is,
exactly.
Like
also, it's like
the big difference between my situation and like those are personal beef. Those are two people that either they didn't like each other, or they got into an argument, or they disagree on a point. Mine was kind of like people wanted me gone. That's kind of what happened, and I survived.
I mean, they wanted you removed for ulterior business motives. You survived because you could survive, but like I think anybody else in that situation probably would have like caved. This is why I like where me and Caleb are at, because it's like we never get like message like this. We're actually I want to say that me and you are pretty fringe when it comes to this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like we're in our own thing. Like Nux, you're kind of like you're kind of, I want to say like in the VTuber community, you're kind of like one of those, you know, known figures, like well-known ones. You excel in that area. And that's why, like, anytime the hammer has to come down, you're always involved into it. Like, I know if, like, there's ever drama in a circle, me and Caleb are so fucking far detached from it. Like,
yeah. I'm not in a circle.
No,
really.
We're not. I don't think we are in any circles. And it's like,
we're in our own circle here.
When people do come up to me and reach out, like my only thing with is like I can't help you. Like I have no idea. Like I can probably guide you on how not to make an ass out of yourself, but like out of all that, I'm not gonna help you out with like a personal beef you have with somebody over there, or like especially when you're arguing over like serious shit. It's one of the like, even with the Smash stuff, like the technical stuff where they were covering like the Smash like YouTubers and like all these crazy like stories of like abuse in the Smash circle. I'm like, dude, I can't help you with that. I have no idea. I don't know what side to fucking take. I don't even care about the Smash community that hard for me to even like cover and like look into this stuff. And also it's like, that's a you thing, man. I don't want to like step on any fucking landmines that I don't have to. That's my philosophy, right? Like I wake up every day, scratch my balls and do my job. And like, if I have to walk and like, you know, if I have to walk a tightrope with you guys, I'm not doing it. Like you guys can navigate that shit yourself. It's not me. Like I'm not going into that sphere. It's like the same thing with Keemstar, right? Like Keem will have like anytime like Keem covers something and it's like, man, I don't know. I can't get into any of that stuff because it's like, I have no interest in it. And also it's like, I don't know if I want to take sides on like super serious shit like that. You know, I don't know if I even want to put my mind into super serious stuff like that, you know?
I just don't care about much drama stuff. Like, if it's interesting or if it's like really...
I only care about Sniper Wolf stuff. Like, whenever it's outlandish shit like that happens.
Yeah, exactly. If it's really outlandish and it's like overt, like if I'm not... It's easy stuff.
If it's low stakes,
fruit.
right?
Dude,
like fucking...
So
low
if it's
stakes.
a crime or if it's like lives being destroyed... Then I also just, you know,
depends on who
not
gets
into
crime.
that stuff. That's just sad.
Crime.
But like
if it's a crime,
upset at someone for selling
like
farts
if it's
in a jar.
If it's EDP, yeah.
Okay, but that's because of the cupcake thing and the shit pics. And...
Okay, that.
You guys want to take a hit?
To be fair, you didn't.
I got a few hits.
You didn't actually spend $1,000 to get that though.
We did though.
I spent $1,000 to get the 6 out of 1,000 Amouranth cutie patootie.
Well, you have to. How much money did you make off the YouTube video about it?
Enough.
A little more than that. I don't know. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look. I'll actually look. I assume it's more. I don't know.
Like the YouTuber Plane Rock 124, he'll like smash a Rolex watch in a video, a perfectly functional Rolex watch, and it's because he knows he'll make more money off the AdSense from it.
Yeah, like $2,000 off the video. So yeah, there you go. I doubled it.
That's not bad.
And it was an investment, bro. It was an investment.
Wait.
All right.
Wait, but like,
I tell you what.
But like, okay, but look at how that jar. Yeah, you basically 2x that fart jar, by the way.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand like how you could be willing to pay $1,000 when you know you didn't even get a fart in the jar. You know the jar didn't survive.
Bro.
Like the fart did not survive.
Dude.
How could you say that?
Muda, this is the most foul scent in existence.
Okay.
This thing, my farts after smelling this have smelled just like it.
Okay, like no memeing. Is that how bad Amouranth's asshole smells?
No memeing. It is fucking disgusting.
You think she? Okay, wait. You think she took liquid ass and put it into a jar?
No, because I had liquid ass. I have like a little spray bottle of
Okay.
it. It smells nothing like that. This shit is like fucking sulfur and brimstone in here. All right? This bitch is eating demons and shitting them out into these little fucking jars.
What if she paid like some mukbanger to like just fucking engorge Taco Bell and just shit into it? You haven't even gotten a DNA tested it. You haven't even done that.
I guarantee you, there's also a little ass hair in it or something. There's a little fucking hair in this thing. Yeah, if y'all ever come down to Texas, you got to get hair off the old jar. The old jar.
I'm not doing that.
I'm so proud of you, bro.
You have to.
I'm so
Dude,
proud.
my mom signed off on it. She was fine with me buying it. My dad took a hit.
You told your mom about this?
First person I called.
I believe it.
She thought it was
hilarious.
hilarious.
Can you still buy a cutie patootie? I'll buy it right now.
I believe so, yeah. I feel like she's probably going to have trouble selling 1,000 of these.
Amaranth having trouble selling 1,000 fucking ass jars? You're out of your
They're $1,000, bro.
You are out of your fucking mind, bro.
If they're still for sale, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. It's got a little ass hair in it. Smells a little bit.
That is so fucking gross, dude. Jeez.
When I took a hit off it, I was like, man, this is like foul. This is foul. This is disgusting. And then my farts smelled the exact same. They still do. I'm ruined. My colon is ruined.
Yeah, $999. Each jar is made for order, so processing times may change. Oh, so basically she doesn't have if she's constipated, you're telling me this is an indefinite fucking order?
Yeah. And I also farted it. I farted in a little Ziploc thing and sent it back to her return address.
Of course.
You think she smelled your ass?
I don't know. I feel like that's biological warfare.
Yeah, wait, what is the legalities of sending your fucking bowel movement across the fucking country, though? Because she legit sent you... If that hair is to be believed, you legit have an Amouranth ass hair, which is probably worth like a few $100 on the old eBay there. That's gotta be... That's gotta be illicit.
DNA test it? Dude, DNA
Yeah, you should do that. You
Take
should
it to
do...
the lab.
Wait, but we don't have an...
It's all my equity right here.
Compared
it's
to
my
what?
nest egg.
You don't have anything else to compare the DNA to.
God damn it.
That depends. Has Amouranth ever been arrested? Do we have a DNA sample from her?
Well, I have her bathwater.
Oh
yeah,
my
but like,
God.
can you compare? Wait, you should get the DNA
from that too.
You should get the ass hair DNA and the bathwater tested.
All right,
because
I'll send both these off.
Because here's the thing: if the DNA test is invalid, you basically expose Amouranth for fucking faking that.
It's like
I would.
You got.
If I paid over $1,000 for her fucking things, or she faked the ass,
or she faked
one or the other.
Mm-hmm. The bathwater is legit real for sure. It just smells like fucking.
Why wouldn't the bathwater be real? That's like just so easy.
I thought she was gonna do the
bro,
meme where, like, you know how on her website she's like, "Have you ever wanted to see what water was like from the bathtub of your favorite YouTuber?" I'm like, oh, she's doing that thing where she like opens the water and just like scoops out. She didn't have to get in because it technically is not like breaking the like description on her thing. Like, it was just water from her tub. I'm like, there's no way she got into it, because I think they did the Belle Delphine test too a while back when she sold her bath water, and wasn't it like they did the genetic test and it wasn't actually Belle Delphine, or like no human was in there? Like, I swear they did that or something to it. So I'm like, I don't know if Amouranth was gonna go out and just do it. I think no, dude. How the fuck would you introduce that lawsuit into court? Okay, Caleb. If it turned out that she lied to you,
lawsuit.
Okay, Caleb. If it turned out that the fart jar was fake, would you sue Amouranth over the $1,000? Would you take her to small claims court?
That'd make another good video, though.
I have a lawyer on retainer. I have my lawyer on retainer, and I'm going to small claims.
That'd make a pretty good video.
She lives just down the road. I'll go.
Does she live at the cult?
Me and her. No, she actually lives like not well. She doesn't live, but the place where the fart came from is really close to me.
You should go into it and just fucking like start the video. You should go and like, you remember the Tourette's guy from back in the day? You should just like fucking bust into that return address and be like, you fucking lied, you pieces of shit. No. How dare you send me fake Amouranth ass?
I would never be that rude.
I will say though, like, I'm impressed by her business savviness, because like she is.
Here's the thing: you say that about every single one of these chicks that come out. A woman comes out attractive, comes in, makes a bunch of money, and then. Yeah, but you say about Belle Delphine and any of the other ones.
Too. She's so smart.
Oh, I applaud them for their business sense. It's like it's the same thing over and over with every single one of these women.
But it's not.
It's just
I don't say that to Mia Khalifa. I think Mia Khalifa's a dumbass.
I think owning a gas station and like having like over $40 million in revenue kind of deserves a bit more of a an applaud for Amouranth versus all the other ones.
Yeah, because
if this is the new level, that's not going to be that easy to get to. She's definitely more.
She wanted to do like a game show. After she finishes like her career as a streamer, she wants to start like a Shark Tank, but for like really sexual ideas, like ideas that no one would ever invest in. like that couldn't be on Shark Tank, like rated X ideas, I feel like that could really do well. She can call it the Skank Tank.
Where? Who's going to sponsor it?
She would.
Who's going to pay to watch it?
No, she
Adam
would.
and Eve, bro. She would.
Bro, it's an investment.
She's the Elon Musk of women.
She's the Elon Musk of shaking that pussy on the internet, bros. I'm just saying it.
Oh
who would be who would be the board of investors for the show?
I'd join in.
Chris Chan, maybe.
I would invest.
I'd invest.
Yeah.
Dude, I get a real bad rap. I just always come off as such a misogynist, and people always say that like you seem racist and misogynistic, but like I'm not. So,
you know what your response should be? It should be like that one dude I saw. So basically, they they called this one guy out for being misogynistic, and you know what his response was? He was like, "I'm not misogynistic. Look at all these OnlyFans I've subbed to. What the fuck?"
Oh no,
dude, I don't even watch, bro. I'm like,
you're like Matt Pat.
I love women.
You and Matt Pat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like Matt Pat. I legitimately don't watch.
Just like Matt Pat.
I don't believe that Matt Pat does not watch. I don't give a fuck if he takes me to court over that. I don't care if he takes me to court over that. I want the polygraph test.
Matt Pat watches.
Yeah, I believe it. Like
it's
BBW.
It's my top 2 Matt Pat.
He's got
all time. There's the Matt Pat doesn't watch. And then there's the Matt Pat saying that Wally's our sexy clip. Those are my favorite Matt Pat.
Even if he doesn't watch, right? Like you can't tell me this motherfucker does not have FNAF porn somewhere in his like history, like search history. Come on now. Well, he's looked at that once for morbid curiosity.
He said, I believe in the clip, he said he may have stumbled upon some stuff for research, but he never like looked for it.
Did you guys see my socks? I was wearing today?
Let's go, socks. Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Matt Pat wears something.
My grandmother got them for me.
She got you FNAF socks?
Yeah. She thinks I'm into the bite of 87, but she has no idea.
Oh, that's all.
I always tell her well, she does have an idea. I always tell her I love Five Nights at Freddy's as a joke, and she thinks it's like this thing I actually enjoy.
In the wise words of Muda's dad, when you're born, God gives you a sock, and you just gotta remove it. You just gotta remove it.
You do. Yeah, you do indeed. No, but that's but like going back to the whole Amouranth thing, okay? Like I know that Art, you always say that we always say this about every single person, but again, siding with the Oompy thing, $40 million in revenue and having like your fart jar business, that's like I don't even think like streamers like the big ones are making even close to that revenue. That's actually the first time I've even heard that.
No. If there is one that is the pinnacle of business sense, and you have to use that as an example from now on, even her tweets, like she's very well versed in like business principles and like investment structures and things like that. She always goes on these like rants and stuff, and I'm like, all right, I just fucking keep scrolling on because a lot of it's so technical and just like I don't know, it just doesn't really seem like it fits very well.
When are we getting Amouranth on the podcast?
For her.
I feel like we need to get Amouranth.
She follows me. I can ask her.
Ask her. Let's do it.
I would kill to talk to Amouranth and ask her about. I would actually like to.
I'll get her on here.
No, I think what we have to do is we have to get like a recorded bite of her saying that's actually her like fucking ass, like that was in the jar. And when your DNA test comes out inconclusive, right there, I still don't believe it.
Listen, Amouranth.
I don't believe it.
Lawsuit, class action.
I would join that. I'll buy the $1,000 jar if it turns out to be true, and I'll join the class action with you. Like actually unironically. Yeah, like what the fuck? You can't just scam us like that. That's fucked up. I paid $1,000 for that fart.
Listen, Your Honor, you don't understand. The fart is actually mine. I just used a hair from somebody else. The fart is mine.
It's a business expense. Don't worry about it.
That's fair.
I can't believe, dude, $1,000 that she did, and also not just
worth it too.
Not just the bathwater though, but like
the bathwater tastes
okay.
great.
But like now it gets us to the second thing though. It's like who do you think is to blame for all this over sexualization of Twitch? Is it the Amouranths or is it the people buying that shit? Because I think it's the people buying it that are the real cause of it, right? Like this market exists because there's actually buyers. Right?
That is true.
She's just meeting the supply for the obvious demand.
Right. It's a basic economics is supply, you know? Or demand, sorry.
I will say, though, she probably has ruined the ASMR category on Twitch.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like I actually talk to people who do ASMR on Twitch, and they all fucking hate the brand of like ASMR content. Like, have you guys ever seen ASMR? Just like look at the category on Twitch.
Yeah, I have.
I swear to God, if you put that up with like an actual cam website, like pornhub.com/livecams, you probably could not tell the difference anymore. Actually, you'd probably think Twitch is more fucking wilder. So I don't know, man. I don't know how they let it go. I don't even know how long that can stay on. Like, I don't know how you can have advertisers onto your website. Art, you may know something more about that. Like, because it's like, how is it that you're able to even develop advertising structure when your site is that volatile?
So a lot of the time, I think it's the advertisers haven't caught on to it yet because no journalist has made an article about it.
Right.
So that's usually like a lot of the people that are in charge of advertising, especially for bigger companies, they're kind of run by boomers a lot of the time. And it's like it takes the Wall Street Journal or New York Times to make an article about, do you know your ads are running on this? And then at that point they'll pull. But besides that, they don't even notice.
And speaking to that as well, there's not going to be a journalist to write that because it's all cool. It's all like
sex
normal
work is
stuff,
real
you
work,
know?
and that's
yes,
the end of it. Yeah.
It's not. It's like it's not. They're not going to be like, oh, there's a bunch of fucking racists making money on Twitch. It's like just women licking ears and shit.
Yeah. So at some point it will come crashing down. It's just a matter of when. I really have no idea. I don't get the ASMR stuff to this very day. Never did. Don't really look into
Doesn't
it.
make me tingle.
Have you guys ever heard the tingles in your ear?
Bro.
Have you guys ever heard them licking into your fucking ears and shit?
I've seen those
listened
clips
to it,
before.
That's when you get it.
You like it?
No, I don't like it. I thought it was weird as fuck when I first did
it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
So So I watched a Linus Tech Tips video a while back where he had like this $10,000 pair of headphones with like this amazing amp system or something with it. I don't know anything about audio stuff, but like they had like this 360 audio for certain songs that made it sound like you were there in the recording studio when you listen through the system. And I was thinking if you were able to get that and then like listen to ASMR stuff through it, that video will get a lot of views.
I mean, they have this special microphone which has like ears on it, or like little silicone ears and shit. And like, have you ever seen like just the streams of them like biting on the ears, like fucking licking it? I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude,
and it literally
go to
sounds
the
like
ASMR section on Twitch
his or her
right
tongue
now.
are in my ear.
Just go to the ASMR section on Twitch right now.
I've been on there the whole time.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
How many viewers are those people getting?
3 monitors. 2 of them are on ASMR.
What's the current most viewed ASMR on Twitch?
I think 1,700 viewers right now.
Like who are these? It
1,700.
makes me so sad.
Right now, the highest is 1,800 viewers, and it's somebody just going licking into their fucking microphone. No, seriously, just click on the ASMR category and like high to low. That's it. That's all it is.
I just kind of feel bad for the people that are watching that. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes like the viewership is so low. Like my girlfriend will watch this and she'll just be like, "You're doing this for like 3 people watching, really? You're just like,
bro, you gotta start
you're looking
somewhere,
at a microphone for just 3.
You gotta start somewhere.
Well, either way, it's 1:30 on a Monday, and you're either watching that or doing that. Like I'd like to make a video where you just see the lives of those people. Like what's the life like of a person that's watching an ASMR Twitch girl?
It's 1:30. It's
a lot of masturbating.
Like, listen, it's 1:30. So there's two types of losers. Okay.
Discord mods gotta eat, bro.
The Discord mods are the winners, right? In this case, there's 2 types of losers at 1:30 p.m. on a Monday. So you could either be the loser sitting in front of Riverside.fm filming a podcast talking about the ASMR losers. That's the first fucking branch, right? Now I'm comfortable being that loser. I don't care. The other loser is, you're right. At 1:30, somebody could be kicked back, relaxed, they have their headphones in the ear, and somebody's licking their eardrums through the internet right now. That's the other brand of loser.
They're violently masturbating.
Probably no fucking employment going on that end. I'm gonna put that wager out there.
Bro, they just shut the sound off Elden Ring. They decided to put it on Twitch instead. It's much easier to fight the Elden Lord while you're listening to some nice,
Maybe that's why Twitch TV. Like, I don't know how many streamers you guys watch. Like, I don't really watch any streamers. Like, unless it's for like 5 minutes. Like, I'll tune in for something.
Yeah.
I only do it when like a game comes out on midnight. And I'm like, I like to see like a little bit of gameplay, and then I'm just out of it.
Yeah, I'll watch a few randomly, but not on a regular basis.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so now you have like a streamer, but the whole like premise is like you're just kind of sitting there getting your ears licked the whole fucking time, like little wild, but it's scary, dude.
Schlotzkin.
We got to make that the thumbnail, Tara. You gotta like, we gotta make that the actual thumbnail. Yeah, we gotta make that one. That's the
Tara.
ASMR.
When you make the thumbnail, you'll definitely.
No, she's got to dig the frame out just for that. She's got to have the frame for Caleb. That's the frame. We got to like save that out and like send it into the Discord. But that said, though, I think we covered a lot. I think we talked a lot about, mental health, a lot about autism, so to speak. We're definitely very friendly with
You didn't mention your favorite tweet in regard to the streamer awards, though.
Oh man, boys. Oh, I'm so glad you fucking reminded. Oh my god.
I got you, bro.
So, listen, I love XQC a lot. I think he's one of my favorite like streamers because obviously.
Cheeto.
Cheeto. No, he's also Canadian. He's also a Canadian. Okay, like he reminds me of my own people. All right, like I'm glad that a Canadian is like what number 2 most watched.
Cheeto.
He's the biggest streamer.
But like, so the streamer awards happened. And so, for context sake, QT Cinderella was a streamer that operated and hosted these awards.
And did a great job.
She made a tweet. She did a very great job on it, I think, for streamers. Like, I know that there was a lot of takes on Twitter, like, why are these guys patting themselves on the back? I'm like, actually, as somebody who's not even in the sphere, I kind of like seeing people in, like, the online YouTuber industry kind of having, like, a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, pull, right? Like,
yeah.
Like it's cool, right? Like I don't like watching the fucking Oscars. I'm more associated with these people, so I kind of like seeing them get their own awards. Whatever,
Absolutely.
Some giving it to themselves. Who
I thought it
gives
was
a
awesome.
shit? It's cool. Yeah, I'm not so fucking cynical and dead inside that I'm gonna bitch about all these things. Like we're far off from that. So I thought it was cool that she did it, and so she was running these events, and I think she got like 300,000 viewers, right? Like so she was trying to get like the numbers up for sponsors and everything, right? Like for next year and everything. So she basically said, streamers not attending today, if you would like to react to the show, it would mean a lot if you could do it full face cam, so they wouldn't be restreaming her stuff, obviously to draw the viewership to her. And then like XQC of all people goes, so basically like one person responds to her and is like, why do you have streamers on your award show who literally streamed entire television shows? Double standards. Pretty true. We all know about the React meta. So XQC of all people, who, may I remind people, Olympics, Hunter x Hunter, some of the most fucking copyright minefield fucking shows imaginable.
You're snitching, bro. You're snitching. Why are you snitching?
Full TV shows. I'm not snitching, bro. The VODs are snitching. Oh. They exist. So he goes, it's a live show. Forgetting the fact that he also covered the Olympics and all that shit too. Wild.
Yep.
The audience is directly cannibalistic to the show. Streamers reacting could have literally been there if they pleased, plus L plus ratio. I don't know what the fuck XQC. Like, this is kind of like Amouranth, like, posting. It's like, maybe we shouldn't have hypersexualized content on Twitch. I'm like, really? Really? So this is XQC coming at us with this take. And I loved reading it so hard. I'm like, there's no way our fucking juicer is saying this shit. Come on now.
Beautiful.
But aside from all that, go ahead.
I'm still surprised that they're able to get away with the reaction stuff. Like, all it takes is one lawyer to get in and see, like, hey, this is a good niche. Find whatever video all these streamers are reacting to, go to the rights owner and say, hey, let me sue the crap out of these streamers, get you a bunch of money, we split it 50-50. And it would be over.
Before we tie out, I have to clarify and say I think there is a lawsuit down in the pipeline for it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's inevitable. And once that happens, it's like the cat's out of the bag. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. So I don't understand why they're pushing it.
I honestly believe that the lawsuit will probably head it to either XQC, Hassan Piker, Pokimane, a lot of the big names. Like, the thing is like, these guys make the mainstream news, right? Like, if you're hitting Dexerto and all these sites for farting, right, and you're the one watching television, it's only a matter of time before the media companies jump onto you and sue you. And this isn't going to be like a small lawsuit. And people who are like, oh, it's fair use, it's not fair use. They get hit with the lawsuit, and their numbers are so large for live streaming that now I don't think they're actually classified as full-on rebroadcasters. Like from a legal sense, they're not so far off from like an actual television provider, you know? So it's like you could get hit on that scale. And that, no matter how rich these streamers are, could absolutely fucking bankrupt you. Like you might be able to have like a settlement out or something, but they will still fucking make an example out of you.
And what gets me is they also have like content ID claiming enabled on YouTube for people that use their clips. So
have you ever
they're
been hit by
claiming
that,
other people's clips on YouTube. Pardon?
Have you ever been hit by that? Because I've heard about it a lot. Have you been hit by that? Like content?
I have personally not been hit. I'm pretty good with like how I mean, I have not personally been hit, but I know that the streamers.
So I mean, I think
been hit by what?
Streamers are relatively careful. They don't just. I think they won't hit a YouTuber that talks about them per se. Like I know Hassan was talking about anyone that clips him, like to put him in a bad light. He's copyright striking, which is kind of hilarious because you know he's the reactor while shitting guy. He's that guy.
Didn't he say that he was like he wanted to loosen up fair use laws? Like when he was on the podcast.
Yeah, but he also said that if they clip him negatively, he was going to strike them, which was funny. I like Hassan; he's great. By the way,
I can't even like get mad at this stuff.
Awards, I'm sorry, I know that we're gonna keep going back to this. Hassan lost the Just Chatting award to Mizkif or something, and he tweeted, "I was robbed," and he started trending. People were like, "You deserve to be robbed. You're a socialist." They thought he was like actually robbed.
Oh man, that man will always be the lightning rod of any drama on Twitch. They will always fucking destroy him,
bro.
No, but no, like that when he was on here talking about like the whole like fair use stuff and everything, I was just like look, I like him, like he's been a friend to us, like he, you know, there's no like, you know, but we got to call out we have to call out things, you know, properly, right? Like when fucking you can't be on Twitch. You can't, like, I think it kind of like drives me a little up the wall when I sort of see a lot of these streamers, and not just Hassan, but it's like, you know, that whole meme where it's like Twitch reaction meta is just a chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that you can, and you stream for 12 hours a day. And the one argument that always fucking pisses me off, it's like, oh, I've streamed for 12 hours a day, so I'm basically allowed to break like copyright laws for an hour. I'm like, that's not how it fucking works.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me is
like, what am I supposed to do?
They defend themselves.
Die?
Yeah. And it's
like, can I not?
Yeah, it's like I've seen that happen on Twitter where they go and people make fun of them for like just illegally streaming stuff without giving fair use reactions to it. And they're like, look, you just went away. You went to the bathroom for 15 minutes and you just let this TV show play. And then they're like, what, do you expect me not to go to the bathroom?
Right,
and it's
that logic is like, well, you know, you could just play some of your own content while you do that, right? Like that's the...
Or pause it.
Like pause it and just say, hey, we're all taking a break, guys.
They did a subathon, and whenever they would sleep, like during the subathon, they would have like their D&D sessions or their podcast play. Like that would be the content to entertain their viewers while they were sleeping. And then there's someone else that literally just put like Netflix autoplay on there.
When it comes to like, okay, so when you release your Chris Chan documentary, and it's going to be long, and like all of a sudden you just start seeing it on Twitch being restreamed without anybody reacting to it, and just because that does steal viewership, like regardless of like, because people who are like, oh, we're exposing this to somebody that would never have watched him, complete bullshit, utter horseshit right there. People watch the entire video through you, and they'll never go to the YouTube video to watch that again. They never will. It'll just be a bot to them. They'll never jump in. You've cannibalized their viewer. You've in XQC's word, you have directly cannibalized the viewership. Okay.
What a great lingo.
I'm just fucking saying, like that's the kind of shit that always burns me. How much would it burn you as a creator though if that was to happen to you? Like I've kind of accepted it if it happens to me, but
like I've made documentaries in the past that you know, a lot of the big streamers have looked over and watched without much in terms of fair use. I personally am not going to do anything about it myself. You know, a lot of the time I'm kind of flattered by it, but at the same time, it's not even that I care so much that they're watching it. It's the arrogance of their defense of watching it. That's the problem. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not the act of them watching it. It's the act that they go on Twitter and then act arrogant about doing it. And how
yeah, like if you act like you're entitled to it, that's a different thing for sure.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's the exact word. It's the entitlement to being able to do it. I personally, if you sit there and you're like, hey guys, there's this cool documentary, watch the Gamer from Mars content, let's watch it. They pause it a couple times, they give their thoughts, and they're like, wow, check out that guy's channel. He did a good job. I'll be flattered. Might not technically be
I like that.
use, but
I mean, it's cool.
I'll move on with my day. That's all. That's all good. But when they go on Twitter and they just say, what do you expect me to do? React harder? Like I work 16 hours a day streaming. Do you expect me to be on?
That's fucking slave labor, dude. What are you talking about?
And it's like, listen, it doesn't matter if you're working hard or if you're working long hours streaming. The law is the law in terms of what fair use constitutes. And it has to be argued in court if something's fair use or not in a lot of cases, but there are some standard pillars of what constitutes fair use. And just sitting there watching as anime shows in their entirety, that does not count.
I have no remorse for somebody that fucking loses their shit about like fair use and like, but they're also the same people that are striking YouTubers for using their clip. I think that's like a no. Like I don't like to, like, that's just, that's like a cutoff. Like fuck that, And there's people that do it. I know that I know that some of them have like entire MCNs that do it for them.
Yeah.
But like, it just seems so above and beyond. Honestly, like I feel like if Twitch ever had a content ID system, ever like YouTube, it's going to be a wave where like YouTubers are probably going to upload it and put their content on there too, just to like content ID back at the Twitch people.
Everyone compares Twitch and YouTube, but the thing is YouTube is a million times bigger than Twitch is. And I think that's another reason why they've slipped through the cracks, even though they're owned by Amazon at this point. All it takes is Viacom to come in and just do to them what they did to YouTube back in 2007, where they say, hey, we're going to start suing you if you don't get this under control. And they're going to force Twitch to go and make some sort of content ID system for live streams that's stronger than it is now. And they're going to ruin the platform. So even if you are doing a fair use analysis of a video where you're watching someone's streams or clips and saying, okay, we're breaking this down, they're stopping, they're giving their arguments against it, they're actually providing context and making it transformative in nature, that stuff's going to go out the window too. So they're pushing it and they're being arrogant about it on Twitter, laughing at people for criticizing them, watching seasons of TV shows in their entirety. They're shooting themselves in the foot and they're going to ruin it for everybody in the long term.
Yeah, I wonder, because like the MasterChef folks already like kind of gave Hassan the okay, right? So like I wonder if that's a potential, even if it's just like a margin of the content, there's going to be like a real clear separation between what's allowed and what's not going to be allowed at the threat of violence. And
I'm just wondering why these people don't have the big brains to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, what you were going to say also, but it's going to end up where the large streamers that can contact MasterChef, like you'll have the Hassan that's going to be able to react it because, Gordon Ramsay himself is totally chill with it and he'll maybe even collab with him. But all the smaller streamers, those are the guys that are really getting screwed.
Like I think at some point the larger streamers are going to have to work out deals with like companies like MasterChef where it's like, let us restream your older seasons so we can drive traffic to the newer ones.
Right.
If they could do that, that would be like an interesting fucking way to go.
It would be, but what younger streamer, what streamer with like 20 viewers is going to be able to ever react to anything? They're not going to have the pull to contact a company.
I think they'll make it some sort of overarching agreement of, hey, if you're a streamer on Twitch, we have this agreement where you're allowed to watch season 1 of this show.
Oh my God.
Like, it goes back to the point of,
bro, we need you to watch Game of Thrones. Yeah. Just do it on Twitch, dude. Just do it on Twitch. Please.
I'll watch season 1
on Twitch.
Only on Twitch.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Yes. Oh my God, dude.
It's allowed. You can do whatever you want on Twitch.
True.
You can do whatever.
You can be a sex pimp and you can watch TV.
Well, before we actually tune out, did you guys just know a few hours ago? China's Tencent. You guys know who Tencent is, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm invested in their stock.
Of course.
They just got, I'm going to buy more because they just dropped their stock hard since they got a record fine for anti-money laundering.
Oh.
Pretty hardcore.
You know what's happening,
how much
right?
Did it drop?
About 10%, which means I buy more of it. on the exchange.
China.
I think they're doing it because they want to. You know, it's like the whole Elon shit. You know, where like how like when Tesla goes down, Elon buys more of his own company.
Yes.
I think that's exactly what's happening to Tencent.
Yeah.
They slap him with a fine. It's like, haha, now you're worth less. Let's buy more.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, you can get away with all the crimes as long as you're the big government, dude. God damn.
Yeah, isn't Tencent owned by the Chinese government?
They're partially in stock, very much in terms of what they can broadcast and what they can't.
Yeah, that's why I prefer America's, because we don't. There's no. Our government doesn't do any dealings with any private business.
Instead, you have like Mark Zuckerberg telling you what you could.
Especially
post.
not defense contractors.
Did you guys sub to the? Did you guys like sign up to the Trump social network?
I did not.
Yeah.
Did you get in?
I don't know. I downloaded it the podcast before last, and I haven't really been active.
Are you allowed to trash Donald Trump on it?
Fuck Trump.
Yeah, can you go
wait,
there and be like, yeah, fuck Trump?
What's it called?
What's it called? The Full Send podcast with Trump got nuked for by YouTube. YouTube.
I know.
Down. That's insane.
For what?
It was a tremendous
they said it was
podcast.
for misinformation.
And Trump in the podcast.
Yes!
Trump in the podcast
honestly,
said this video will be taken down.
Trump said this video is going to be taken down, and the Nelt guys were like, no, dude, this is totally fine. No way.
Tremendous.
Yep. Why did Trump's thing get removed, though, before we go? Like,
they said it was for misinformation. Misinformation, and
probably because
they
Trump.
got a community guideline strike. But probably
I have an idea as to why it got removed.
I'm good at identifying patterns.
I don't know.
I'm good at identifying patterns, bro.
I saw decent chunks of it, and nothing was that bad.
I didn't think it was bad at all, but
I know every time they asked Trump a question, he had to like self-fellatiate for like 20 minutes before he answered.
Tremendous. It's like the whole fucking there was a bunch of TikToks that I kept seeing of the episode. They're like, Trump is such an alpha male when compared to these betas. It's just him going like, okay, so this is a great podcast. And he's like fucking swinging his hands around, just sucking his own dick for like 20 seconds. And then they say something and he's like, well, and then it's so stupid, dude.
Yeah, because like they ask him like, okay, fine. Let's reenact it for the YouTube. Let's pretend I'm the Full Send guys. I'm going to ask you about it, okay? Like,
Okay,
so like, so Caleb, can you tell us a lot about like nuclear firearms? Like, what have you done in the Trump, can you tell us about nuclear firearms, bro?
Well, there's so many. America has the most firearms. They're tremendous. Our silos are deeper and wider than every other country. Our
I think they're
IBCMs
intercontinental ballistic missile is what they call. I read that on Wikipedia.
Our ICBMs, they're longer, they're wider, they're deeper, they go further into space. We have satellites connecting sort of a web of communication.
Dude, how do you like? That's really good.
It's a web. It's like the internet. It's a series of tubes connecting everyone. Facebook. Memes.
That's literally quite literally the Full Send. That's it. I mean, like, guys, just stretch that to an hour in your head. That's effectively what the entire thing was.
So you boys went on rubmaps.ch and got your dick sucked put it on a video. That's amazing. I've been using rubmaps since 1998.
That's a very specific website.
You guys use rubmaps.ch?
Wait, what the fuck?
You guys know what that is?
No. Oh, wait, massage parlor review site?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You knew the exact domain for that.
Rubmaps.ch.
Holy fuck, this is amazing.
Okay, so me and Jeffrey Epstein used to use rubmaps.ch.
Dude, it's like legit. It's like they got the pricing $60 for an hour. What the fuck? Dude, it's like a Yelp.com of shade deep. What the fuck?
There's a few where I live too.
How are the reviews?
How are the reviews?
How are the reviews where you live?
They're very high. They're I actually took a picture of the like the description of the race and ethnicity is described for every single massage parlor.
Can you do me a favor? Can you make one of your uploads like reviewing my city's worst rated massage parlor?
Masseuse ethnicity, Asian Chinese.
I just found it. Like,
does the website function like Rotten Tomatoes, where there's the critic score and then the audience score?
Yeah.
The audience is all pretty much always happy with the endings of rubmaps.ch.
Wait, I can't go there. It doesn't have semi-truck parking, Caleb. How am I supposed to enjoy this? There's no sauna. There's no fucking jacuzzi. They don't accept Discover. And it's $40 for half an hour. What kind of fucking rub down are you getting for half a fucking hour? $40. This is...
Oh,
dude, the outside of it,
rubmaps.
This is actually a really sick site, though. This is so well done. It's like
we should use it.
Oh, wow, dude! You want me to list the forum posts real quick?
Sure.
So one of them is harmless coincidence, and then it's erectile dysfunction and Asian massage.
Oh, hell yeah!
That's embarrassing.
You see, now we know why Trump was into
waxing.
Esthetician.
Best way to handle tipping.
Get my bussy waxed.
This is kind of sick, though. I'm gonna. You should actually do this. You should go to like the lowest reviewed massage parlor in your area.
Coming next.
Oh my god, dude!
Linus Text.
1 star massage parlor versus.
Here's a 1 star. I got herpes of this one. The other one, though, is way better.
$1 versus $500 blowjob.
Price for performance of this massage parlor was a little higher than expected, which is why I'm rating it. Wow. Okay. So like so Florida's got the most massage parlors. No, California's got 8,250 of these.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of fucking happy endings in Cali. That's what I'm seeing. 1,800 in Florida. New York's got 2,800, which seems far less than should be a thing. Texas is 2,666. By far none, California is where everyone's getting their fucking rub down, for sure.
How about the name, Rub Maps?
Rub Maps is a great fucking name.
Good name.
How about you guys never hearing of that? That's awesome.
Well, I was more pointing out that you knew like the .ch, like they got banned from all the other domain endings, so you knew that it was updated to that one nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found one in my area. Oh, so there's like a few in my area. They've got like crazy reviews. This guy's got 8.
There's one in everybody's area.
This guy's got 8 reviews. And they have table showers, whatever the fuck that is. Man, most of these are Asian ethnicity, though. Like, most of them. 90% of them, it seems.
Yeah,
Good one.
So they're kind of like Chinese restaurants almost, and they're like a loose chain, I believe. Just because like they're if you see them, like they just have all the same sign with the same like open on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I frequent these places, but I've just noticed that like it's kind of
really
the same
good at
thing
seeing
where
the
they
patterns in the area.
Have you ever gotten a massage at a Chinese massage parlor?
No, but maybe I should go on that website and see which one has the best reviews in the area.
I will do we'll do a BuzzFeed thing, like before the BuzzFeed shit where they go do like a $5 steak versus a $5,000 steak. We should do the BuzzFeed meme where like fucking we try like a $5 shady massage parlor together and then $1,000 one, and then we'll be like we'll review it too. It's like the happy ending here is definitely a lot better than the one we just had in the other place.
See, the joke was that Nelk Boys already did that in a video.
They did?
No.
Yeah, they did the massage parlor happy ending thing already.
I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. But they didn't review it though. They didn't fucking.
They need to get Trump on one,
bro.
He's got his own in Mar-a-Lago. My massage parlor, it's not on Rub Maps. It's very, very secret.
Yeah. We gotta try it though. We gotta do what the Nelf Boys didn't do. We have to be like the fucking Rub Map sommelier. We have to be the Rub
Put it on
Maps.
Vitali's website.
Bring a hidden camera in.
Yeah, and then we get busted. Watch, we're the luckiest.
Hidden mustache camera.
We are the most unluckiest motherfuckers. We would walk into an actual sting operation. That would be the video right there.
Yeah, is that illegal anyway? Well, I guess not. Maybe I think they went to Nevada.
It's a massage, bro. Wow, stop thinking it's sex, dude. It's a massage.
It's a massage, bro. it's not sex. It's not reproduction.
It's a 60-minute massage,
bro. Just don't worry about it, dude.
It's a 60-minute massage, bro. Done on the bad side of town. All right. I guess we can all end it over here with the Rub Maps.
Good.
Actually, wait. I found out how to find the sting operations in this. when it says cards accepted and it says only cash, that's how you know. That's a giveaway. Anyway,
wait, when it says either or, it's only cash. No,
it just says cash only.
Cash only.
They're not taking Visa. There's a reason why they ain't taking Visa. And I'm gonna leave that to the audience to figure out why RubMaps locations are not taking actual credit cards. You can piece it. If you're good at figuring out puzzles, you'll figure this one out too. That said, though, we want to thank Gamer from Mars, our good friend Art, also producer of the show, to come on with us talking about Chris Chan and RubMaps. I want to
his 2 areas of expertise.
Yeah.
I want to thank Nux and Oompi for showing up as well.
Hell yeah.
Great friends. Oompi being the primary Donald Trump impersonator I've ever met in my fucking life. And I definitely don't want to thank myself for letting this go on further than it has to. That being said, though, if you all like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you definitely disliked it. We are all out. Fuck me.